Why affiliate marketing for beginners is better with high ticket affiliate marketing, 2,448 plus per person. Look at this image. One customer could generate 2,448 plus in year one, plus recurring income products factored into that, plus low to mid ticket products factored into it too. This is what the cash flow and wealth education ecosystem I'll be showing you today. I have multiple tabs open. I'll be going through, trying to get through as much as I can quickly, but also taking our energy and time. So you grasp this and understand it. Underneath in the description, I'll leave more information. Let's look underneath this image and we'll find this. What if the product, funnel, emails, and marketing were already done for you? 80% commissions, 400 plus or 800 plus, with a very in demand, very needed, high ticket affiliate product, helping people during this economic climate and everything going on with debt spiraling out of control, wages where they are and are going, consumer sentiment, affordability, the housing crisis and plenty more going on in helping people understand financial literacy. Because I don't know about you, I remember where I was and asking questions about where is my money going? Where could it be going? I worked so hard, was just scraping by back then and having very little. And with that little amount that I did have left over after expenses and everything, where could I put it? And even if I didn't have any, what could I do to prepare for when I did have? Someone nearing retirement or in retirement saying, I need to learn about money and where to put it. People that are just scraping by, working so hard, people that make decent money and still ask where the money goes. Businesses that generate revenue, the cash flow, and they still ask, where does it go? I'm not keeping enough. Could I be doing something better? How can I make use of what I already have? And so much more. And you can be the person there showing this to them. There's debt elimination, passive investments like power profits with mobile homes. You have fix and flips. You have other things to learn about when it comes to, in general, investments and what you can use for yourself and what you can share with others. QuickBooks, plenty more. Underneath here, 2,448 plus in year one, plus recurring income, plus low to mid ticket products again factored into that with the cash flow ecosystem. I have my products that I've created, and I wanted to show you this for the funnel view, the framework, and what you can do. I'll go over a little bit of the marketing angle and what you can do. And this is what I believe is best to promote. I've been an affiliate for now over 13 plus years. I have multiple companies, corporations. I'm in the finance funding niche. I'm a funding expert. I also do on the real estate side, personal growth and development, self mastery for many years. It's about character and characteristic traits, values, vision, mission, morals, ethics, governing principles, purpose, habits, routines. I do that. I practice what I preach every day. I'm an introverted, analytical, cerebral type, not one to talk, not one for words. I'm an action taker. Today, you hear me speaking. At least I'm showing you. I don't like just speaking or speaking at all. I analyze a lot of financials, bank statements, credit reports, mathematics, systems, writing, processes, the right amount of automation. I'm in the crypto space too, doing things there. I have projects helping people build their business, not just my own. And as a true operator, being behind the scenes on the back end, that's my favorite thing to do is be quiet and work up here, the brain, the mind, being very cerebral, looking at numbers, analysis. And I spend a lot of hours on that in the morning on my finance funding niche. And then I'll go over into what I'm showing you more or less today, which this is also factored into what I would do in the morning too, and go from there. And I have things running for me on the back end with recurring income products, low to mid tickets, high tickets, and so forth. And there are many business models in the affiliate marketing space. I've been a part of all of them. I've seen the low to mid, the high tickets, residual recurring income products, and it's about how you layer them like layer one, layer two, layer three, layer four. And I have this post over here that I will flip over to soon, and we're going to be going through this post that I made in my group. And I'll try to leave a link down below in the description so you can join. If it isn't there directly, then in time you'd be able to. And this is where I help educate people on affiliate marketing and how to do this correctly and so much more. So, in understanding the affiliate model, low ticket, you find something lower priced, mid ticket of the way could be just underneath 100, a bit over 100. That may even be considered a high ticket product with 100% commission if that's the case. But it's not about getting the most commission all the time. It's about bringing the value and that the value exceeds the cost of the product. Because, like I said, a lot of people are struggling. Businesses, people want to get into business, understand debt elimination, debt mitigation, risk mitigation strategies, understanding investments, passive investments, what they can do, what's that vehicle look like for them, and at different stages. So there are many different groups, and I'll be getting to that a little bit later. Here, one of my front end low ticket products that I have is a 5 day cash flow reset. That one is at $17 at this time, and that's an 80% commission. So that's 1360 to the affiliate. A one-click order bump product that I have that they can pick up right there on checkout, 80% commission, 2160. Mid-ticket cash flow mastery system workbook, 80% commission, 7760. And then the one product that I did not create, and you could be an affiliate for in a different location, the ones that I have are put up on OfferLab. I don't have a tab open for that right now, but it's a place that you can go and sign up for free for OfferLab and then be able to promote my products there. And you can even add other people's products in the mix, connecting pages and all this stuff. And I'll guide you along the way. I have done for you templates and things like that, as I said earlier, and I showed you the image that I'll give you access to a lead magnet, collect the name and an email, be able to follow up with email marketing. And the money is in the list. If you haven't heard of that, again, the money is in the list, meaning that on average, it takes 7 to 11 plus times for a person to purchase. Other times, it could be right away. So if it takes 7 to 11 plus times on average for somebody to purchase, and that goes for any affiliate model and a lot of things out there, even in a non-affiliate marketing space, what do you think you should be doing? Yes, following up. How to follow up? How do you do it through email marketing is a different thing. I always tell people it's what happens after the click. For example, I've done a lot of Facebook, Instagram ads, Meta ads, Google. I'm Google AdWords certified. Spent a lot and done well. Other times I hadn't. And it's not the creative itself all the time that you should have the number one focus on, the ad, what it says, the targeting, and all of this. It's what happens after the click. So if somebody were to click on your ad and go to a page, what do they see? Are they going to see the product? When does it make sense to show somebody that product? You're in e-commerce, you're retargeting, it's a lookalike audience, it's a custom audience. Other times you're taking them to a page where you're going to collect a name and an email, and I'll show you an example of that and what you can use. And I have these templates. Then you're following up. I have done for you email series you can use to promote the high ticket stuff and more. And it'll be helpful and valuable. You can customize it, put your affiliate link there. But we're sending people back. We're building rapport. We're building know, like, and trust even more. We're sending them back to the bridge page before the video sales letter, then to the video sales letter after these amount of times. And that's the magic and art and the science behind it. And how people like myself and others do so well is because we're doing that. We're building a system. We're not building an overnight sensation, whether it's low, mid, high ticket residual income, and you have a website you're just marketing people to. You think you're marketing or you're not. You're sure you're not, and you're sending people there to click so they can buy the product and they never do, and then they go away and you wonder why this doesn't work. So it's about building that, and you don't have to necessarily have an audience to do well with this in high tickets. You should be building one. I always recommend it, and you can do that through a Facebook group and more, and you can do that along the way. You don't have to do everything all at once, but building, there's different ways to market and show up, and I can even help you with conversions and the group and more that I have access to. I even do a spontaneous Instagram pop-up from time to time that I appear on right here. This is my funding Instagram, and I'll do a live from time to time, and I'll appear here and I'll help people with finance, funding, business development. I've been doing fixing, growing, expanding, scaling businesses, reading financials, credit reports, bank statements, and more. Not on the lives but I'm stating that I've done this for a long time, that I know what I'm doing and I see the pitfalls. I've been a business owner for a long time. So I've seen the hurdles, the obstacles, the ups and the downs that we all still have from time to time, and that looks different for each one of us. So I have that. Here I have again my post that I'll be coming back to. I'm clicking here, as you see right here. I have a post, and this is my Facebook over here, coming back to this. So you have these different products and potential. As an affiliate disclaimer, I'm not saying you'll make $1 or anything. And this goes for everything out there. It's based on your effort and what you put into it. So what you plan to get out of it is based off of your effort and efforts, like anything in life and in business. You just want to show up, get this cookie cutter way, shortcut, and think you won't do anything. And there are different strategies. So I'll show you. So as you build the momentum, sure, it gets a lot easier because you've done it. You've built the confidence and the certainty is there. So you keep showing up and you have a different level of discipline and it just grows and it gets higher. So when you build this personal growth and development, this engine for what you're doing, you'll see along the way that, hey, your growth and as an individual, growth, wealth, and freedom, you surround yourself more around those individuals and those things, those objects, those products, and more. And this is of great value. And out of all the products out there in the high ticket space, I think this is it. Instead of regurgitating a course somebody buys into, not saying you couldn't do that, but you get something you can use it for yourself. Not that you had to apply every principle, but you find something in like the financial literacy product. And that's something that someone has a problem with that you can go out there and solve. Plus, it has all these other things on top of it. So there are different angles. So you see that right here in the ecosystem stack that I have available and why this ecosystem works. Easy to get started. Start with a low ticket offer anyone can afford, high conversions, step-by-step value builds trust and increasement in sales, maximum commissions, 80% commissions across the entire funnel, recurring income built long-term monthly residual income. So you can have something predictably coming in each and every single month passively. Financial freedom is the overall goal that everyone has. Leverage the system, scale your income, live your dream and what you would like to do. And I have more underneath here that I did in another video, which is why I have this document open. So I won't go through all of this, but I made another video on why low ticket affiliate marketing for beginners and more usually does not create real cash flow by itself. And I went into the high ticket side. So I'll try to leave that video for you down below. It was a very extensive video. I don't know if this won't be that long. Could be. I have quite a bit to cover. And then I have my own Google Drive here so you can get things going where you're a part of the cash flow ecosystem. Over here, I have, let me click this tab so I can show you. This is the residual comp plan. So when you're a part of a platform, what it pays out. And just to get 2 customers to be in profit, you have the Let's Go Lab for personal transformation and morning routine, the funnel builder. So you can have all these pages, these templates hosted that I'm going to give you that they already have that you can use to customize yourself for whatever it is you're promoting. You can promote their products, other products that you have access to, you already have a business with and on that you want to get access to forms so you can get people to sign up and then follow up with them and or other ways, video sales letter page, trying to do membership course, challenges, whatever that is, premium for traffic and conversions for marketing and advertising, organic, free. You can learn about that and the total amount and the monthly residual and so forth. So we can position this on the back end. Sure, you can promote this on the front end too, but we could focus on the high ticket because think about it. With one of these, sure, recurring income and how many you have to place so you can get that and having each product together as a whole with 10 customers, what that would amount to, which is 1,280, or we take out the Let's Go Lab and that is 1,200 and combining these different products. And I'm not saying that people will automatically cancel. A lot of people stick the funnel builder, they stick with the tool, they stick with what they need because it's what they're building their business around. And they've been building it that they need these pages access to, that they've had so many of them, and they're building their growth along the way and more and learning. It's not that. It's saying, well, if I promote a low ticket residual income, mid ticket residual income product on the front end, sure, I have something predictably coming in. How long would it take me to then get as many people as I can, as I did that one individual that has this use for it and is solving this problem for them? So you're always thinking, what problem are you solving? What's the primary, secondary constraint that that person has? Not footing into a product and saying, this is what I'm going to promote because it looks cool and it appears to be helping people. It's understanding the product yourself. So you understand the product, you have the product, so you can share it with others. That's the best way to do it. And understanding that. So you build trust and build it much faster and confidence and understand what you're promoting and getting behind. So when we're doing this, if we're running an ad, let's say we're running an ad, not that you have to, but now you're spending 100, $200 to create 250, 300, if that's the case. Well, okay, how much does that cover in your costs and your expenses, your loss leader product? Are you hitting break even? When do you hit break even? It's not your profit center product, your main product, but that's what's going to help you roll into promoting more so you can then get more people in through your funnel. Hopefully they sign up, they pick up the other product, the upsell, downsell. They're in an ecosystem membership platform that they can sign up to those products now and or later with more education and value. So, okay, but if I promoted a high ticket product, whether you're running through ads or not, it's like 400 or 800 that I can get off of a product that costs 1,000 that should be placed at more than 1,000. I'm going to show you that product here soon. Or one for they can get it at 50% off that product and getting 400, and they can get it in installments. So if you don't get the 400 right away, is in installments they're getting it, or at the 1,000 that they're getting it in, and that benefits the individual because if they can get it in installments instead of paying the full amount or at the 50% off one time, might be more costly with installments still available, and see how that works. So that each person has a budget towards this and it's helping them. And not that you're promoting this to people that want to promote it. You could do that, or it could be the second tier. It doesn't have to be the first tier. It could be they're using this and then they want to build this as their business model. And oh, I have a financial literacy coach. Somebody could use this product, factor it into something they already have access to or will put together, and they want to share this with people as an additional profit center. There's so many different angles and you can position this. But if I'm promoting something for 400, let's say I'm running an ad, and I'm spending 100, 200, almost more or less to get that customer, then I have a spread, a differential of about 200 to 300 now in profit. Better cash flow, more cash flow right away that I can set aside, put it into investment vehicles. And I'll try to go over that in a little bit later, like dividend stocks and more you can do and trading and other ways, crypto. I'm in these different fields too, so I'll show you over time and uh, help you understand these things. And I have an ecosystem again where you can learn more. And I have my group. Now let me switch over to here is the product with the Financial Literacy Academy. And this is hosted inside of the HBA, the Home Business Academy. I'm looking over at my tabs right now so I can get to it right here. So the Financial Literacy Academy is back here. You'll get your funnel builder tool. If you have access to it. If you don't, you can click here to get access to it in any of these two. You have the affiliate. So when you click on the affiliate, one of those tabs, you'll be able to go get your links and be able to share the Financial Literacy Academy as well as the other ones. And when you own the product is when you can earn from it, from the Home Business Academy. With what I have on OfferLab with my own products, you can promote those even without it, unless I say you should or have to. But I still recommend getting the product so you understand it when you're communicating with someone and understanding what their problems are. They're in a business, they could use better cash flow, and that's how you're targeting people. And you're maybe targeting credit repair consultants, mortgage brokers, real estate agents, specialists of different sorts, financial literacy coaches, consultants. Doesn't have to be them. It could be the everyday individual that could use something like this and just understanding their problems, pain points, and how to help them. So when you go over here to the Financial Literacy Academy, on the left-hand side will be everything right there. I won't spend too much time going over the full product. I have a different review for that. I'll try to link you to down below, or in time you'll see it. And you see debt elimination, reducing taxes, guerrilla money strategies. Sorry if it just got dark a second ago. I have my HP lighting that circles around. So if it did get a little dark, that's why I had to move it so I can just view the left-hand side. It wasn't showing me so well because of the lighting circle. Reducing taxes 101, guerrilla money strategies, how to spot scams, how to quickly spot the most common financial scams so you can avoid massive financial losses. So harvesting and understanding saving more and identifying these things so you don't fall to them. So the fastest, easiest way for US investors to get started multiplying money, car flipping 101, passive power profits with mobile homes, stress-free property management systems, and plenty more that's in here. Financial literacy, debt elimination, reducing taxes 101, tax strategies for US business owners, retirement planning strategies. You have records and bookkeeping, QuickBooks, and there's more that I can introduce you to. And then as an affiliate, you can sign up for and promote that with the cash flow financial management tool. So there's plenty more in abundance that's available. And this is within the ecosystem. And coming back to the product right here, there's already a free sample content. So the host with Paul and then what Mike and Paul have together, and then features a world famous CPA attorney and best-selling author in Mark J. Kohler. So your people will have confidence. You'll have confidence in having this product for yourself and that you can show it and demonstrate it to others. There's Paul. There's more underneath here and what you and others are getting access to. Debt Elimination 101. Plenty of videos and content there. Module 3, tax saving strategy for US business owners. There's Mark on the whiteboard. And just so much more goes down here. And then I have the document here that I usually share to people. You'll get your own template, my sites for the funding space, and I have it right here underneath services, although it's something they pick up, they can do it themselves. On the cash flow mastery system workbook, having an AI component to that, so done for you, or they can go and input a few things so they can get that done for them. And if I further expand that product into AI agents down the road, we'll see. But here are my products and the 5-day cash flow reset right here. Let me click and show you what that looks like. Very nicely done, high converting page, video for the video sales letter and more products. Bonuses as an offer you can give people, incentivizes people to help them like, hey, I bought the product, now I'm going to have problems with this, or now I would like to have this, and so forth. So you see all this is in there. And then I have my 5-day cash flow, my cash flow mastery system workbook, which is an amazing one. 10 modules at this time, each one building on top of the next one. I even have a video course for this. I have videos walking people through the uh, workbook. And then down here, and all that is in there. And then, like I said, I'm giving you the done for you landing page. This is one you can get access to as well. If I have more and if I change the format, back here is my funnel builder tool that I was talking about earlier, where you'll be able to use get these pages that are hosted on here. So let me type something in Control F. And here's a funnel. And you can see that I have for this that I can give you access to. And you can even put your 50% off link you still have available for. And then the other one right here for that one, there's one that goes to the 1,000, the other one that's 50%. They get the multiple products. They go through a page where they can pick up the Let's Go app, the web app that's integrated into was what you saw on the outskirts of the HBA back office. You can see it's already integrated on the outside. And you can see, so you can stick to your goals and plenty more. Let me come back to here. And then just more bonuses you can put on your page. And I'm going to give you, and there's just more right there. And custom bonuses that I have, and increasing conversions, and so much more. I even have my own bonuses. So, well, yeah, I have my bonuses. So if you wanted to join through me, I'll give you access to those. And I won't spend so much time and energy on those right now. And if I have a video underneath this or in time, you'll find this page or something similar, and then you'll be able to see that. And now let me look over my tabs. The Google Drive that I give people access to. So you have everything all in one place for the cash flow ecosystem. Over here, I showed you that already. Let me scroll up here for the products from the HBA. Give it a second to load. And then down here, different products you'll see. And then let me get to the financial literacy product right there. There's a video for it. Special guest trainer. And now I'm going to go into my Facebook group so I can show you this post. And this is what I want to now concentrate the rest of our energy and time on. And I want you to really grasp and understand the opportunity that is here and why this works so well as opposed to other high ticket affiliate products and the business models. Low commissions, takes so much volume. This could take a few people, and we're going to cover that. And I'm going to show you it in an angle from the funding finance niche. So you don't have to be in it or thinking about getting in it. It's just think of it like what I'm speaking to. I'm not saying it directly, but understand what other opportunities are out there that I would say forego or place those products on the back end instead. You could focus on the front end too of positioning them. But for what you want to do and build and everything, this could be much more useful. So I have this post here that I have in the group. If you already saw it, great. You could have a business model problem. How to set up, how to set yourself up for success, excuse me. So we've been speaking about business models. I didn't get so much into it, cash flow conversion cycle, short versus long term, contribution margin, net free cash flow. I'm not getting into all that today. That's for a different matter. And with me by your side, knowing business at a high level, I've helped out a lot of businesses, manufacturing, food service, restaurants of many sorts, food carts, with retail, construction, technology, plenty more. I'm also helping investors in private equity, private debt, private credit. I've put together pro formas, business plans, detailed project budgets. I know what I'm doing at a high level. And again, I'm the person behind the scene who's just operating not only my own, but others' businesses that I've helped put together, helping them along the way, strategizing, making sure they understand what they're doing, funding, finance at different levels, what they can be doing better, different investments, the market, crypto, bonds, equities, treasury bills, all of this stuff that's going on. I'm on top of it. So I put here, hello, happy Friday, everyone. When I did post this, which was on June 5th of 2026, I wanted to leave you with something I've known for a long time. And what's been constantly on my mind this week. As many of you know, a large part of my background is as an affiliate marketer. But if you were new to seeing me, you likely wouldn't have known I'm also in the business funding. I'm also in business funding, cash flow credit, business development, strategy, private equity, helping investors and the owner side, and helping business owners access capital as well as more things. And I have my focus. I'm not a jack of all trades, master of none. No, I've stayed focused. When I first began in affiliate marketing, in the funding finance space, that has a portion of it being as an affiliate, referral partner, an agent. You could be a broker, work indirectly, directly, work with ISOs, brokerages. All this setup is different depending on what's best for the client. And if you wanted to do funding, I can help you. If you didn't want to position that to begin with, okay. If you did, that's another matter. But I would position the high ticket side too, and then the funding side towards that side. And I'm going to get into this and why and a little bit more details. But I can help you if you wanted to become an agent. You are one now. I've been doing it for a long time. I do it at a high level. Like I don't trust anybody in the funding space, hardly, if any. Very small group because of people's characteristic traits, a lot of things that, like numbers wise, that I take a lot of time on doing evaluations. I've been the CMO, the CEO, the CEO, COO, the CFO, wearing multiple hats. I understand the responsibilities and doing it at a high level, being organized and focused. So So I bring that up to say I've seen a lot. And let me see if I have my red marker. Yes, I do. So bring that into view. So right here I put a lot over the many years. And I've seen people who want to be referral partners, agents, brokers, kind of intertwine brokers with the other two or so, but it can be separate, helping clients get funding in the finance funding niche. But there's a massive hole and things need to be addressed. Here, I don't know if you can see this, but let me bring up my lighting. May not have looked dark for you, but it was on my side. I apologize if it looked dark for you. But there's a massive hole, and I mean super massive, like black hole. And things need to be addressed. Please listen to this next part. Before I go any further, again, I can't overemphasize how important personal growth and development, self mastery is. And from experience, delaying instant gratification, having the values vision, excuse me, and these different things pieced together. Communication is not my strong point in voice. You might not be able to tell. Sometimes my word doesn't come out that way, as you heard, but that's not a reflection of who I am as a person. It's knowing your personality and your character. If you're an introvert I have a very CFO, underwriting, engineering mind. I was a chemical engineering student in college, just went into business. I wanted to get a degree there so I can start a business. So I've learned along the way. I've worked construction, manufacturing, the field positions, actual labor in the blueprint room for the manufacturing, and doing dimensional analysis to being in a warehouse business, doing also courier administrative dispatch for them. Did not like that as well as a few other positions, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do. And that was in my earlier 20s. And then going to a financial logistics position for a huge contracting company, being very underpaid, stay there for stability reasons, post academics. There is an acquisition downturn, 50 plus people relieved. Unfortunately, I'm one of them. I have to go back on unemployment benefits again. One of the hardest times just to go have a family meal where I could cover and I couldn't cover at times. I just wanted to save and I wouldn't speak up when I could. And I'm the oldest of two. I have a younger brother and then it's me. We're usually 6 to 7 years apart. So I felt like a burden, even though my family wouldn't tell you. That's what it felt like to me. I wish I would have had more. Going to pay for the groceries with my EBT, could not even look the person in their eyes, hoping nobody would be in front and behind me. I'm walking out of there, all grateful and thankful as ever. But then the thought of coming back, I didn't want all of this. So, long story short of it, before that company went down under and started relieving people and all this stuff happening, is I started preparing. And like many of us do, we get home or we're at home and we begin to do our research online and I started watching videos, blog posts, affiliate marketing, digital marketing agency. I went with the digital marketing agency, lead generation business. And around the same time, then started building my marketing business in the health space. So I've gone from the health affiliate marketing to the CRMs, software as a service, make money online, different audiences, tools, to finance funding and so forth. And it's just expanded my horizon. And when you get to learn different things about businesses and models and looking at their customer acquisition cost to lifetime value, their fulfillment costs, looking at their retention rate, activation rate, their rate of return, cash to cash returns, IRR, MPV, discounted cash flow. There's so much to learn in business. You don't have to have it all at once. If you are someone who understands business at a high level, great. If you don't, there's more to grow into, there's more to evolve. And as I'm still doing that, I'm still learning and growing and evolving even more. So the education doesn't end. So please listen to this next part. Whether you plan to be or are helping clients get funding as an affiliate, broker, and whatnot, as I mentioned before, what most people will not tell you is how mentally energy and time draining, I would even say mentally and manually energy and time draining it is until you do it for yourself. Keep in mind, I'm a funding expert. I don't just help my clients get funding. I'm not like everyone else in the market. I understand business at a high level. I help people with real estate too. And so, having seen a lot of this, I look at the opportunities, strategize. What could they be doing better with their cash flow? Protect their cash flow. That's what I think in my head. Protect their cash flow. I'm always thinking of bettering that person longer term, not just taking a funding to earn a commission or the highest. Uh-uh. And that's what a lot of brokers and affiliate partners get it wrong. And you may not know better. There might be a misunderstanding. You're just not educated. So, how much effort you will put in with or without progress, or much of it, how much volume, here, let me scroll down, you will have to go through to get an application submitted. Even if you didn't get an application submitted, all that upfront, front end, grunt work, you have to ask yourself, am I better than that? Yes, you are. You may have skill sets that are suited for this more than I did and have, because again, I'm an introvert. This does not fit my moat and mode. I wanted to help people, and you'll see why I got in it here in a moment. So stick with me. So you have to think about that, how much volume it will take just to get an application and the amount of work it would take just to do that, the barriers you need to break down, and all this. Not saying that there isn't that, and that's like with other industries too, but the friction and the resistance that's there, the trust levels, because so many people are getting bombarded with emails, calls, inappropriately, and or from people that want their business but don't really care much about who the person is and really understand the business at a level that I get to understand it at. So it's not about more volume, it's about quality. You could start off with more volume, and like I'm going into here, not always the case is it going to take you more volume, but odds are it will be for you in the beginning, unless you already have a group and you're a credit repair consultant or you're of some other sort, you're coming from a bank. I have my clientele, Michael, when you're saying this is going to be hard, that's based on perspective. Nothing is right or wrong. It just is. And it's what you make of it. It's on your perceived value and your beliefs and what you've already done. What's your background? If you don't have a background in this, you don't have anybody, then you're going to have to start from scratch. I wouldn't depend on just contacting one individual. But also, I'm not in the business of like these kind of companies that do like debt consolidation and many others. I'm not saying they always do this, but they don't even remember who the individual was. Oh, we did 100 calls today. We took 100 calls in outbound. We did outbound. We had inbound more, whatever's going on. It's like you really don't have a shared interest for that person and their business, or do you? Can you remember them 13 years from now, 10 years from now, 2 seconds from now? 1 second, millisecond. It's not about churning and going through more because you have to replace the next person because you got a client funded now. That's not recurring income. It's not about even growing the same business. If you have a funding credit repair business or whatever it is, you should also be looking for other ways to increase your revenue. And what happens if my spread isn't around and I put everything in one bucket? What happens when that slows down? Sales go down, cash flow. It isn't, but now I got to find another way of having better scalability or better cost or better reserves. There's just so much more you got to think about. And when you have a product that you got to go through another person to get them funded, but that person that you funded, when do they come back? Can you add accounting and bookkeeping for them? Can you roll into some financial strategy, investment strategy for them? Connect them with an advisor who will do that for them. You do a part of yours as an advisory role. You're as a consultant, not a salesperson. You're understanding the marketing, the lingo, and what you should be doing. So it's about understanding that ecosystem and what that those products solve for the individual. What problems do they have that keep them up at night? The roadblocks, the obstacles, the questions they have access to, those problems, main problem versus not a main problem, and filtering and diagnosing that, not just going after the symptoms and treating them. So I don't focus on volume like many years ago. I care for less of the volume. For me, it's about with quality people. I didn't say quality business, remember, not just quality business. I'm thinking the person. Who is the person that I'm spending my energy and time that I have to set aside to help? And I'm not being on phones. That's not what I mean. I'm not a phone person, but at times, for clarity, when I send the client the funding details, I have Google Documents and all this stuff, and I can help you with too, and helping your clients with and more. And that helps filter because they get to see the qualifications requirements. If there are examples, more details, pro tips. So when they get back to you, they might have started an application or haven't. They have a question. You address it through email and or messenger and or text, something more convenient, maybe easier for you. And let's move it along. Otherwise, you're going to be spending a lot of energy and time with people who don't do anything. They're uncommitted. They're not so committed to what you thought they would be, and they change their mind about everything. And you could have gone through everything, or it could have been your fault. It could have been something you didn't do, and that's why. But I'm telling you, as someone who goes through these things with individuals, and I care for the individual, it's less about the business. And I've encountered this that it's the character of an individual, it's the human element. Humans are hard, humans are very difficult. That's why I stick to data and measuring. Numbers are my thing. Even if they mess up, like I'd rather work with numbers. Humans are hard. It's going to be there in everything we do to a point, but you should understand that it's when you work on yourself, your personal growth and development, what I'm saying, it'll show in yourself and it'll show that in others. And you'll know exactly this moment you'll come back to and think, ah, that's what he was talking about. How much mistrust there is in that industry, again, on the funding, finance space, particularly in the funding services, all different sorts in that industry, and that you have to do a whole lot more to gain and keep your people from going to get funding from someone and somewhere else. Now, this is a problem at times for me, not like it was many years ago. And even for people who have been in this for many years, they'll have this where I am not the most personable. Don't confuse personable with likable. Those are two separate things. Personable meaning I am quiet, I'm more reserved, more analytical. But people like that. They trust that because they don't want to hear the person who's speaking so much. They don't want a salesperson. They don't want somebody that'll persuade them because the person wants to make a commission and it's less of an interest and better off for the business owner, the individual, and thinking about them not just as a business, but as what they're going through and suffering through, very likely, or will if they took the funding that didn't make sense to them for how they should use the funds and all this stuff. So it's about understanding that individual at a deeper level, consciously and subconsciously on the quantum field. And when you can go through this stuff yourself, it's much more relatable. Or if it's not relatable to them yet, but you can understand what that means and what it looks like because you've been there. You're going through it. You're on your journey. You don't have to have completed it. I'm in my journey right now too of discovering that. And I realized, and you can help someone else in more ways than just funding finance, getting a product, or financial literacy. I want you to really understand and acknowledge that. This goes beyond business. The activities day to day you end up doing, truthfully, they end up feeling more like a lot of labor without much satisfaction in any of it. If you have a deep enough purpose, you may stick with it. Before I get into that, coming back to the last X, is it's just understanding loyalty, values of someone, and having that relatability and common ground and understanding them as a human is going to take you further beyond anything. So right here is just beyond, it's beyond just funding a client to me. And what I said earlier, I would get to. It's what that does to their employees, what it does for them. They can allow to pay them more, different compensation channel strategies, equity, their customers, what that does to them and puts a smile on their face as well as their employees, the owner and owners and everyone around the business, shareholders, their community, for example. They could be the only grocery store in a 10-mile, 5-mile, 15-mile radius. It could be something else. And families really depend on them, and it puts food on people's tables. Many families, one family in particular, that's so dependent on them and something that they get from them that they need. The bad eggs trying to get owners into the wrong funding product and products. That's a whole different thing. Is when people are trying to get people into the wrong thing just so they can make a commission, or it's not because of that. They just don't know better. Where they're at in the ecosystem that's educating them is like, do you even have those other products? The FDIC banks, general bank term loans, business term loans, if they don't get it from a bank, SBA, equipment financing, leasing, sell leaseback, factoring, collateral. How about other sorts that we can focus on? And that's where most people get it wrong. And there are many bad eggs in this industry trying to get owners into the wrong funding product and products. We'll get you this, and then in a week we'll turn around and get you a line of credit. The people self-sabotage, and this I mean too from the person you would be helping getting funding. And this is applicable to a lot of other things too, not just in the funding finance space, but I see it a lot in this one more than the others. So the people, they self-sabotage, they self-defeat, and so much more. I have 13 plus years at the time of you watching this video of personal growth and development, self-mastery, again. And so I'm not saying I expect people or you to have the highest standards. If you want to get there, I want to help you. I want to help you grow. Discipline and more. But you will see a lot. Emphasis on caps locks on both here of people without it. You have to account for their behaviors, beliefs, misconceptions, their understanding, character, characteristic traits, values, vision, mission, morals, ethics, governing principles, purpose, etc., etc. Yes, etc. You may get plenty of that or not of, and this included, is what I mean by it, plenty of this. What we just read is, yeah, we see that in a lot of us, but the level of where we're at, where we want to go in our future is a different matter. Where we are now, where we were in the past, present, now, in the future. So you may get plenty or not, time to time, of ignorance over and over, egos, stubbornness, being naive, obnoxiousness, and plenty more. From time to time, I will get people who will say one thing, they do another completely, partially. It's kind of like they put their hand over their eyes and walk around like they don't see you and know you're there anymore. And I'm telling you this from someone who has personal growth and development, self mastery. Have I said it enough? So read between the lines. If this guy still gets it, anybody will get it from time to time. So if I believe I've mastered my funding, my intro to the last step, you're not closing. Don't say you're closing. That's not. And you got to look at the characters too that are in the space who are people helping people get funding. Like I see it and I go, yuck. Ew. I feel like dirty after watching. Can you imagine they're doing that and what they're sharing with individuals and the type of, I don't want to say always background, but the type of character that you find. And so, not saying not to join it, but understand what you're doing and don't be like those who are the way they are and how they do things and have a greater purpose and sense for why you're doing it. It's your why that'll take you far. So it is like they do that. And they're just like, they're there, but they're not. And I don't already like to follow up with someone. I get it's part of things. With people I already have a strong relationship with, it's less of a matter. And other times I do still follow up with them when they need it, others who I haven't yet. And I want to help them. I get to choose who I want to help. You can get to that point. That's what I recommend. If you can and be decisive, not that you have to do a lot of volume, is I want to work with that individual because of this. I found them on LinkedIn. I'm going to get to that in a moment. Like you research, you saw who they are, and this is someone that lines up with who you are, and that's why I want to help them. Less to do with the business that I understand business and their operations and all that. You can go over it, send them an email about it, how they plan to grow. Here's what I see with these numbers. Da 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 da. So a lot of that I see is like the same. Is people who are naive, people who don't have the character, their behavior show you everything you need to know about them. It's not the first time, it's what they do after. Like you may have understood they are a very loyal person, they are integrous, have a lot of integrity, they do this, and that, oh, they're going to be a great person. And then they just lift you on scene, or the feedback was never there and they never gave it to you when they should have about what they were supposed to. And it's this whole mirage. And that could mean you didn't do something like as who you are and shared with and or resonated or something else. And it might as well not even be that. And still people do that. That's for me less of it now is like that whole who I am and piece that I share with people. Like, for example, I do love to read. I have a book right here, and I have many others that are underneath my table and in other places of my home. I love to fish. I love listening to rock music, all sorts of genres. And I'm a family man. I'm very simple, non-materialistic. I don't need the materialistic, shiny objects. Very simple, easygoing, old soul at heart. And my people will tell you I'm very easy to get along with. I don't pressure people. I don't do that. So there's plenty of things in different angles, sharing your story, as I shared a little bit earlier, in different ways. So here, as I mentioned, that they don't even see you're there anymore, but you are there. It can happen. Most brokers are super misinformed. This is massive. I can't even stress this enough. Like, this is terribly bad. See how I just said terribly bad? Like that's not even something people say. Because that's what I see in this industry. And super, I didn't put super there, but uneducated about their products, services, how to best help the client, and the whole stack ecosystem of funding products, tools, and all others. Whether it's not because it is or not because they want to make the most in the commission with those cash advance products from a specific product like that, for many other reasons. And before I go any further, it's about education in the there's a massive amount of people in the funding space, as is in the credit repair space. Everybody's a specialist now, expert. Everybody gets into certain industries. But what separates you from everyone else and not looking the same and not being the same is you got to ask more of yourself and educating yourself more. And if it's not all for this, it's for using it for other businesses, other business models you want to build, investments you want to get into, and so much more you plan to do for the future, not only for yourself, but those around you, your closest ones, and even those who are not closest to you, and even yet to be. And you want to help others. You want to bring people in the masses or focus on a specific group of people and help them. So it's about understanding. And this is also why I get people who refer me their clients to help them get funding because I understand this at a higher level. They could be a credit repair specialist who doesn't understand this side or is wanting to, but just wants to work under me for a little bit. So I focus on doing more of the work and or more than that with other products and other things that I share with their clients or they can share with their clients after I share with them. Or they go first into doing it on their own and that's what they prefer to do. There's different measures to this, but a lot of people in the funding space, they don't know that. Like a lot of people can go to the credit repair space, but when it comes to funding, nobody knows that or knows it well or understands business and business development and other angles and understanding if you had more demand come in today, would you be able to support that? How much more an additional ROI could you generate realistically having taken this debt? How much an additional net profit does that bring? What's your rate of return from that? So do we keep adding more to that or not? So there's different things. It's about understanding business, entrepreneurship. So whether it is or not because they want to make the most in a commission, commissions from a specific product, for many other reasons, for trying to move a large commission into the stock market, dividend stocks, stock dividends, and being able to gain a portion of that and understanding the profits of different businesses and the cycles and what's down and what's up. When should you get in? How you should have it over multiple stocks. What's the history look like and what are the best stocks to get into, crypto, and all these different things that are going on. I have crypto projects of my own, helping people with their own crypto projects and that community and understanding blockchain, AI, and that's the next move and next movement. And so there's a lot to be discovered and different things you can uncover from me and a lot of here that I don't always talk about, but I've got, it's just always hard for me to speak it. I'd rather not talk. I'd rather do it, I'd rather have somebody else say it for me. Uh, while I'm doing other things that are not going to say always more important, but data measuring, building operations, building the funnel, building the website, the ecosystem of how an investor will interact when they get to this stage, doing all those things and understanding the purpose of the product and what it means, what it solves for, and all these different things that will go along the chain and chain of command. So I'd put it into investing vehicles and build that more. So eventually you don't have to rely on your funding business or another one. Maybe it's your high ticket one. You want to put it in those while you're still working on your high ticket side. So if you were or thought you had, and then get into another business model. So there's a lot of things, Bitcoin, metals. There's so much to get open and exposed to, but you will never know if you don't do anything. And the high ticket could be your way into that. So you do the high ticket, move it in, get another client, another customer, another person gets that high ticket product and or the other products in the ecosystem, high ticket first and then the others if they decide to, or the low ticket to then building this, boom, in the high ticket and then going off like that. Now you're able to move into investment vehicles, and that's how you then become an investor. Instead of just doing always real world assets, you could do a high ticket, move it into other forms that can give a higher rate of return. Not saying it always will. I'm giving investment advice on that. I'm not doing that. Uh, that's based on each person and what they seek and what they prefer, and each strategy is different in stocks and so much more. That happens, but it's an understanding what you're doing at its core and taking the right form of action. A lack of business development knowledge and action, as well as understanding business math, scenario, strategy, fixing, growing, expanding, and scaling businesses on behalf of the broker, as in you not understanding that, or you don't have to be a broker to understand that. Just being an affiliate in different markets, you're maybe in an MLM, network marketing company, other business models. You're coming from a restaurant, manufacturing company, trucking company. I've had people who are tired of those, so they wanted to do these and helping them with this, and other businesses too. People that are tired with their own business, they might want to be an affiliate for the product. There you go. They built another income stream, or they left what they were doing to build this in the affiliate space. So there you go. There's so many different angles you can approach this. Uh, so it's understanding a lot as an agent, as a broker, as a referral partner, and more levels than just in the funding space. So why does it all matter? If someone is helping me get funding, I want them to, at the very least, understand business development, strategy, ROI, cash flow, my operations. Did you understand my operations and how my business, my industry works? How we get paid, percentage, margin, what's running on margin, cost margin, revenue margin. Even if you don't know all those terminologies and understand it in depth, like understanding business, marketing, and those numbers, new customer acquisition costs, understanding just the basics, gross, net, cash flow. Don't have to even get into it so much, but the more you do this, the more you'll want to, the more you'll see it and how you'll better show up for people, yourself first and for people. Because you can't show up for them if you don't show up for yourself first. Ask better of yourself and show up better. Even if the person didn't continue for whatever reason, you learn a lot about how businesses are ran, maintained, their numbers and more. That gets you to understand a different perspective about business and businesses. Gets you to understand a different perspective about you and where you need to be, where you are now, where you should be, where you could be. Continue to grow. The economics of it, market cycles, policies out there, and plenty more. You can always use that for anything you want to build and or don't want to build. You find out something in the process in your journey. Yeah, I don't want to, or you come back to it later. You add a little bit of that to what you're doing. Okay, how you should have looked the person up on their site, social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. If there is a way, a website, not okay, and so forth, to know who they are as well as their business, so you get an understanding ahead of time. You can have people fill out your questionnaire, or a questionnaire if you have. I have it on my funding site. Not showing it right now, but I have it on my site because I don't have the tab open. I have to go click and all that. But I have a site, my site, where I ask for people to fill out like the revenue, lowest monthly revenue, credit range. Do they have collateral? If so, what type? Please state your request, what's going on, their problem, be specific, da 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 da. So you have more information before you even communicated with them. So that things are filled out and you get to understanding. You do your pre-underwriting and understanding more. So before it goes into underwriting, you're pre-underwriting. You're seeing, okay, what could this person have a problem with? What product could we match that problem to? what would be their best situation based on that. Maybe you need to gain a little bit of clarity, so you'll email them back and or text and or email and or call. Not that you have to be on the phone. I don't spend a lot of my time on the phone with clients, contrary to popular belief. I have my systems set up right. And for clarity, if I send Google Docs and other things, other formats that are best for them in a welcome package email, it makes sense for clarity, then it makes sense. Other times it doesn't. So other times it makes sense in the beginning. Depends on what they filled out or what the extreme measures are, or emergency or whatever's going on, and it makes sense to do that. So all this is much better. So you will find out if you want to work with them or not. I guess certain brokers, agents don't have the luxury to decide and be selective, but you can do it even when you're limited, and you can work your way up to. If I have, so can you. How it's much better to be on the back end, not the front end, helping clients into, that should be an O right there, a pre-qualification application, doing the reviewing, looking at submissions, processing, finding the lender, etc. Which you might be thinking, well, I don't want to do that. If I could just refer someone over. Okay, great. Yeah, there are brokerages and people that will do all that, the rest of it for you, which is great. Have that if you want that. Do that aspect. I, from experience, personally speaking, as in my character, my personality, I want documents. If I don't get numbers, I don't feel like anything is fulfilled in my day. I have to be looking at bank statements, credit reports, looking at numbers, debt schedules, doing my own analysis. How much in monthly savings could they get here? Potential ranges before it being concrete, an actual offer. Because I could be an underwriter full time, but opportunity cost and what I can do in business, not being underneath someone else, and they need me there every single time. So it's an opportunity cost. And so understanding what you're doing at a much deeper level, but learning those things, even if you're not doing them and you're handling the documents, you're sending someone in so they upload them and you can't see them, and or you can see the credit report or hear whatever service that is. But understanding how to read financials is important, not only for business and businesses that you're helping that are not your own, but your own. And for on the business and on the personal side, it will take you a long ways in having financial literacy. This is a huge part of it. Understanding cash flow inflows and outflows, average daily balances, annual cash flow, monthly debt capacity. What can someone afford? What can they not afford to get access to? So all these things on the back end is what I'm best at. Reviewing documents, numbers, math, operations, and more. I'm very introverted, like I said, the analytical cerebral type, less talk, less to no talk, more action. How you're doing the grunt work, like I said before, let's face it, you're doing the front end. That's the grunt end. And think about the platforms, programs, tools you're getting offered. Ask yourself, are they doing the work that I am? Not saying that if they weren't is bad. It's okay. So if I'm spending all this energy and time to get you a client, you could be getting the most from a commission, perhaps. They get a small portion, but this is my next part I'm going to get to is could I be easily replaceable? And not saying that I will be doing so much and a new client that needs funding. I get a lot of recurring clients or returning clients that will ask me something if they need funding or not. And the time slows down, but I'm not having to depend on the funding finance niche so much, and you wouldn't have to either. If you were to build a high ticket business with multiple products, be able to move that into a different vehicle and an investment vehicle. Build things that are passive too. But when you're doing the grunt work, it's the front end. People are giving you everything, tools, the measures, the lenders, da, 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 da. I'm not saying they wouldn't do anything themselves on this side where you're doing this, but now you have to replace that person you brought in. Make sure you get 10 people in an application a month. 4 people. Out of these many people, you have to speak to so many people, and then the work that it takes and the activities you got to do, again, back to that, probably don't want to do it. All the front end work that can be the hardest to just get someone into an application, a lot of friction, resistance, a lot of mistrust in this industry, even after there's been a lot of trust built. And I'm telling you this, that this happens to me. And it's not something, it's not to take personal. I never do. but I care more than that person does to help them as a person and in business. And I shouldn't want that more than them. So that's what makes things harder for me nowadays is that. And there's a lot of this back and forth, unsure, change their mind. They said they would send something, they didn't. They just didn't send everything. They fell off, changed their mind at the order. Oh, disqualified after final underwriting. Oh, this happened. Da 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 da. This is not enough. Now I got to get another client. Oh, they're not a recurring client. So it's not a recurring product. Oh, I'll get them later when they come back and get more funding, or we move them into a different funding service, or we can add a different thing that they need in the meantime with payroll. Here's a software. Here's for payment processing, merchant processing. Here's a cash flow financial management tool. Here's a financial literacy product. Here are these different products that can help you with your cash flow, etc. They weren't already positioned in the front end. So, which leads me to the next piece, how it would be much better to be the lead generator, the lead generation source for people who need funding clients and or in having a brokerage and recruiting brokers so they can get the clients funded so you don't have to or do very little of it. All you need is a few rockstar referral partners, agents, brokers, and it can make a massive difference with that just being supported. And we're creating having tools you recommend they use. So backing up to that is sure if you're in a place where you can have your own agency and bring people in so they can get clients funded and the percentage is incentivized and da 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 da, network marketing MLM type setup or a hybrid with an affiliate, then okay. But should you be dependent on your referrals to get a client funded so you can get a percentage? Doesn't always work well. And I'm telling you, as I've had many referrals, referral partners come in and join certain things, not all in one place all the time either. And the majority of them just don't do anything, squat. Others, there's a very small percentage of them who will even do anything. And if they're not even consistent getting clients because they have something else going on or they're having a hard time, they're trying, that's something else. So think of all that. So depend on someone to get a client funded so you can get a percentage, and that's how you're going to build your business. I'm not saying it's wrong or it's not bad necessarily, but to depend on someone and then the clients, how they work, and you're depending on a client to make you money and to get funding on your table or to get something on your table, like that's something to be cautious of too. So when you have the digital products that are helping solve these different these problems, excuse me, for these business owners or non-business owners yet or at all, that's what helps a lot too. And adding that into your sequence. So it's understanding that the different models and if you have access to tools, why they're promoting the tools and are they making more money off the tool than they are getting the client funded? Well, it's rightfully so now because they've done it before. They're just doing something else or from time to time, or they just need a few people and they just get their percentage and they're moving that in somewhere else. So you have to be smarter than the people who are doing that. You really do. I'm not saying you have to have a high IQ. I'm just saying this is just understanding business. Don't always want to call it common sense, but there are things that even others just wish you don't learn because if you once you learn what I'm telling you, you learn my brain, my mind, what I've been doing quietly, in silence, working and building businesses and more, is now you extract that and go, wow, now I see it. Now I understand what Michael's talking about. You don't have to take so much time. It's just this one video that's showing you enough. And there's more, obviously. So many funding brokers spend all their time chasing the next deal, the next MCA funding, the next creative credit based person client, the next SBA loan, the next line of credit, unless it's paying residual when they use it, depend on that. The next equipment financing opportunity, the next MCA refinance, debt consolidation, MCA debt restructuring client that doesn't make their payment because they got to make their other payments. So then they fall off the program before they even get into a better service. Now you got to make up another 10 people and the work it'll take you, the energy and time it'll take you, most likely. The next and every funding product service that there is out there galore, even on the personal side. There's nothing wrong with that. But what happens when the client isn't ready and or says no? They take forever. They change their mind. They said one thing and did another, etc. What happens when they aren't fundable yet? What happens when they need education before capital? What happens when they need help with cash flow, financial literacy, business planning and development, strategizing, and or entrepreneurship first? What happens when they need you for more than just funding and you're only their funding partner? What happens when the perceived value and notion, the perception you want to give off and is more of an advisory role where you are their source, not just for capital, but you're their source for education, educating them on funding product services on top of the right path, the roadmap, long strategic partnership and roadmap, short term as well, what they can do now to bridge over for that then long term strategy and strategies for them and without funding and in other areas of business and life. It's you being that advisor, that advisory role, and them being able to lean on your shoulder in helping them and understand that, hey, if you have to do that, do it. Depends on what service they're going through and if they absolutely needed it. Hey, this is what I recommend. Here are other services, but here's how we would stack this. Here's because of the funds, you have short term versus long term. Here's how we use the long term capital, quick cash flow conversion cycles. You have lumpy cash flow, so we need a little bit of the longer term, but we can't get to that or we can't get to that now. Here's your purchase receivables. Here's the purchase orders, the inventory count, the marketing expense, the ROI, all this different stuff that we got to go through. That's when now you become a trusted consultant and advisor than just someone, yeah, you have to have 5,000 minimum monthly revenue, 25,000, 60,000, and show 3 to 5 deposits in the accounts. Keep an average balance. Oh, you keep an average balance of that. So yeah, we could get closer to that amount. How much in revenue does your business generate a month? Would you say, yeah, it looks like your business is doing well? Not saying those things are wrong to say. It's just like it's the same thing you hear everywhere, and other things that I hear everywhere. So more than just business, business and life. Many funding conversations they just end there. I think that's a mistake. I know that's a mistake. It's a huge one because the business owner still has a need. They're still looking for solutions. Not that it has to be a product. You're the solution first. You're the product. You're a byproduct of the product. They're still looking for guidance. They're still looking for education, value, education. Educate them. This is the one reason I've become increasingly interested in building a complete ecosystem rather than relying on a single service. And I've had this for some time. One that doesn't rely on just getting people funded, and funding over and over. And or at least as layer one, sure, there will be times it's layer one, people start with funding, but you should blend things and substitute, complementary it often for a different path that does not rely on funding being your layer one. So substituting that. So a business owner may first need financial literacy, your high ticket product, and then the cash flow education. I have my products in other ways too to help them. Or this could be up here, the financial literacy could be underneath. See that? This should be arrows. Looks like a boot backwards L. There's somewhat of a noticeable arrow pointing up. So then cash flow education from financial literacy, then to business development. I'm saying you could even remove one or so of these, but learning as you go. Then to the marketing they need help with, then to the funding, and this could be layers that you stack, so you're learning all this along the way. But we can position marketing up here because if you're starting to share with people things, you got to understand how to market. You got to understand what marketing is at least, and understand how to show up, not be a salesperson. Then funding, then investing, then wealth building. So let's grow together, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner, or they're not in business, and here are different engines for investing and wealth building, growth building, freedom building. The journey doesn't start and stop with capital. That's why I believe the strongest businesses aren't built around one product or one service. They're built around solving multiple problems in an ecosystem for the same customer over time, having a recurring client, customer, and getting a repeat person, client, customer for life. Instead of chasing the next commission with a new customer and or waiting for a customer who went through one funding product to refinance into another and or stack another position, which isn't always best. It's not scalable, as easily scalable. You got to go get another person to replace the person you just funded or couldn't fund. They fell off the program. Whether you're a funding broker, or let me back up here. So a service is like, great, a service. You want to stick with it, you stick with it. But a service is only so much. This market services have gone down. Others have gone up, like in hospitality being one of them, healthcare being a massive one. So services, a lot of the times, they should be used as your entry point. Like you got to get cash flow now, fund clients, focus on that. Okay, then to the financial literacy, high ticket, you can do that. Or you can start with the high ticket and work your way in there. And so when you're doing all of this, sorry, my phone, is now you're sorting out what you need now and what you'll need in the later time, and understanding your prospect, understanding what they would like access to now, short term, and then especially long term. So and long term. So it's about seeing what they need, what you're putting products around, and what the person needs most at that given time. So right here, whether you're a funding broker, consultant, credit repair specialist, realtor, insurance agent, bookkeeper, or entrepreneur, excuse me, an affiliate that's not in the funding finance niche too. It doesn't have to apply if you're in this niche. The real question is this: how much can you create for the people you already serve? That's value. How much value can you create for the people you already serve? Because sometimes the biggest opportunity isn't finding more prospects, it's serving the people already in front of you better. And by you changing, that should be changing your approach, your business strategy, and overall business model. And what I said earlier to the service is like that can start that, but it doesn't have to be where you end up. You can have it where you don't have to do the services anymore, do the other stuff. You start building these other streams. That helps you, but scalability and more and things you have to do and replace yourself with, and so you're just trying to build something larger, margins and all that stuff you got to pay for, and have a higher margin business with the digital education side, digital business side. And so wanted to mention that there. And to be educated on understanding business, business models, frameworks, strategies, process systems, the right amount of automation, math. So again, having the right service when you don't need the service. Coming back to this, I just want to go back over this. Many people, and this could be you, just need education, and to be educated on understanding business models, frameworks, strategy, processes, systems, the right amount of automation, math, simple business math at the very least. I'm not saying get into business calculus, although that does help. And most important of all is strengthening the mind with personal growth and development, self mastery. It will help you see things you didn't see before or enough of. Spot and pick things up much faster. Look through people, observe them, know what a true attractive character is supposed to look like and be, etc. Because many of the people you think are like a super attractive character to me are not, or I have yet to see or see more of. And you have to understand the words people use, how they talk is more important than what they're always saying, how they're saying it, and what's the real meaning if they're not saying it directly, or they did say it directly, but doesn't mean that. And questioning, validating those responses, not just accepting something because someone says it. Hey, this is the best business. Oh, come get the funding clients, and this is how we do it, and we prospect clients, and this is the only way you can do it, and it might not be the best one. They didn't even say that, but oh, okay. And most important of all is strengthening again the mind with personal growth and development, self mastery. And it will help you see and pick up things much faster. Oops, I meant to scroll down. So if you're ready to take the approach I take and others have, in case you missed a video I uploaded on one of my channels, it's not the one you're watching now, it's the other one that I had mentioned in the beginning of the video that I made another video for. Uploaded on one of my channels about high ticket, 400 or 800 plus per person and more, with over 2,448 per person and more than that too. With the cash flow ecosystem, make sure to check the link in the comments below for more. P.S. Are you in the funding space or an affiliate in general or any space? I need help with a better affiliate approach and business model. Please feel free to let me know. You can comment below, and there's my name. So this is the post that I had in the group. And now coming back to here, and we'll close. I do not just have one channel. I have multiple. I have one for educating clients who need funding, business development, strategies, cash flow, different topics that I go over on that channel. And the one you're watching this now very likely is my other one that you're watching it on for helping affiliates and more, understanding different business affiliate models and the different products that are out there and what's best to do. And I've been around for a long time, like I said. And so I've been through it up and down, been through a lot of low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket, and I've seen it. And this right here is where I would go and I would lead in and having a peace of mind and educating yourself. This is what something a lot of people could use in different audiences and different people to target because you do have a plethora of people that you could be targeting. It doesn't have to be just one. And I have a document that I put together here. I have it on my phone that I'm going to go off of. Not that I need to go off of it so much. I could add it on here, but it's quickly opened. Is thinking about how much it takes to just get from one individual who wants the product, obviously, as opposed to, oh, and I have it open right here. It's at the bottom. It's one part of it. So this is in my other video I made. So if you'd like to watch that, I'm being realistic about when it comes to the numbers, which people just don't understand math. I'm not saying just business math, but math. Not that you have to be a savant or large at it. It's just simple stuff. When you learn it and you see it over and you use it, help others with, it becomes much more easier. So think about the low ticket, my product, someone else's, how much it would take 221 sales for one product versus either 4 or 8 or more or less when you have something with a high ticket one. And I go over that right there. And the reality of it is, and so a 5,000 monthly goal and more. So I go over this in the other video. I'll try to link you to down below. And to market, if you have friends, family, not that you have to start there, but I know people who do and they begin there and they like it, they enjoy it, they pick it up, or take some time to from a different angle and approach. Facebook groups, you can grow your own group. I'll show you how to do that over time and how to grow it. You can have a school group. Uh, how if you go and posting in groups, what you should do and not being spammy. Messaging people in the messenger. I have my DM scripts and things that you can use as a Google document that does the heavy lifting. Put your link to the bridge page and or over time to the direct page. They can pick up the product. You have reels. You can do short form video content, do stories. So your reels, like if you're on Instagram, where I spend quite a bit of my time, not that I'm doing always a new reel, but messaging in the inbox. I have a lot of messages that I go through for funding clients and more. And you could do a live pop-up. I do from time to time spontaneously. If I still do when you watch this or not, but still helping people. And these reels attract new audiences. And then the stories from those people start posting, and I can show you strategies on that and giving them value, your lead magnet. They click on here, like my link tree. And now give this a second. And then I have different things. Not that you have to have so many altogether, but right here you can have the first one. And then the 5 financial traps, go through my sequence. So I have a video here, bridge page, they get to watch, and then they can click right here to get access. They go through my funnel. I won't go through all this right now, but then they'll see here, I'll actually do it right now. Just do my funding one for an example. So when that happens, then it's right here. You'll get something similar to this. This goes eventually into my 5-day cash flow reset product, the timer there, the products, the offer, the offer you'll get for the bonuses that you can share with people too, more or less, and all that is in here. And they'll see a button when this goes low and be able to go to the 5-day cash flow reset and then grow from there. And there's other ways you can entrance into the high ticket right away, but there's different ways in growing your email list and so much more that I'll give you access to. So that was everything from me in this video. Not to spend too much time recapping, but we went over a lot of this, the images that I showed you, why high ticket affiliate marketing and is better for beginners of all levels. It doesn't have to be just for beginners. And some people may think, well, you got to start with promoting something small so you understand it. Sure. And then you stick with it long enough. And that's where most people stick with. And then it gets oversaturated. A lot of people end up there and may not have success with it. They end up spending a lot of money on solo ads and things. So you're making the vendor more money than you're making money on the product, more or less. Or you put them into an ecosystem first before they get the high ticket thing too. You could do that, and that works. But you could position the high ticket first. And there's a large audience out there, like I was mentioning earlier. Could be nurses, travel nurses, small businesses, credit repair consultants, everyday person who just needs better management of their financials and literacy and an investment vehicle and more that they want to learn about, that they can be a part of, just use and have it there as a safety net, as a way of saying, hey, at least I have this and I don't have to go for buy it right away when I need it the most. It's like when you need something like this is when you don't need it the most, but it's also the opposite. So they're not having to scurry and get it when they don't have the funds to be able to, and all this stuff that happens. So that's everything from me. Look down below in the description for more information on getting started. I'll likely have a page that sends you to two different places or maybe one. And anything down below, I'll try to leave my email there. It should be in there. And if you have a comment, question, concern, please leave it in the comments below in my group when you join. Um, Feel free to reach out that way. And remember, I'm here to help you grow, understand business, not just affiliate marketing, but business development, strategies, different things out there like crypto, bonds, stocks, mutual funds, a lot of different things that are out there that I've already been exposed to. And I'm so thankful others have helped me too. And I'm helping others and passing that forward and helping the people that have helped me and with different things too. So it's a huge ecosystem of things that you get to learn by just being an affiliate marketer and being in affiliate marketing and doing it correctly. So that's everything for me. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. I haven't don't really mention that so much as I used to in the past. Uh, Usually I would say if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And if you haven't subscribed again, please feel free to do so and click the bell notification icon so you do not miss any future content I'll be coming out with. There's me who doesn't talk. Been on here long enough. Need a break and go relax my mind, my cerebral brain. So thank you for being here today. I greatly appreciate you and giving your energy and time to this. And yeah, thank you. Bye.